Let's don't have choir singing, testifying, or nothing. Let's get right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Come on, choir. I'm still feeling good from this morning, I'll tell you that. Oh, years ago. Yeah, that's good. 276. I got you looking at something. What's that again?
A week from tomorrow will be 2 years we've been.
Really?
Like that song.
Say it's an honor today. Let's do it today. Yeah, I miss you, buddy. While we are living in this world of sin, needing the burdens that we had to bear, but there's a miracle that the Lord's right in. Giving a ring and He will understand. Her bells of heaven will last to leave. They ring, 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 her message of All right. As we get this next song, let's all gather together for evening prayer and welcome our brothers and sisters in the name of Hey, Mark, what what am I doing? There you go.
We'd like to welcome everybody in the name of the Lord this evening. Awesome place to be. I look forward all day to being in the house of the Lord. Hearing that message Brother Bobby's got and talk about this morning. Here to continue. And I'd like to say that I love the Lord tonight. Amen. It started out with testimony of my own. Thank God that I'm able to be here. Thank God for His presence in my life. I feel the presence of the Holy Ghost tonight. Amen. No doubt in my mind. We've already had a good service. Oh yeah. When I come here and I have the fellowship that we have here, the love that I feel here, no greater place to be. I thought about all day about coming back home here with my church family and the fellowship that we've got, the love that we have. And I thought about our Christmas play. No doubt in my mind it's going to be a good one. I thank the Lord for each and every one of them. Thank the Lord for your prayers. Amen. Truly, I've been blessed, as you all know. I'll say. Continue to be blessed. And I've thought so much about you, Sister Joe, and I've prayed so hard. I know that, you know,
so much better today, and I thank the Lord for that.
The Lord has always said, and He's told me so many times, I've got your back. You know, the Bible tells us to worry not, but it's hard not to. But I will say this, although I worry, I've got somebody to take care of it.
Yes, amen.
And I love you guys. As people say, it's from moon and back, I say through eternity and back. I thank the Lord for it. I ain't coming back. When I leave, I ain't coming back. Yeah, that's right. Through infinity, that's right. One day, after a while, I'm going to be up there with Brother Mike kicking gold. But I'm like Brother Bobby. I'm not in no hurry to leave because I got work to do. I want to help see souls saved. I want to help my brothers and sisters that are weak to be strong. I want to help my brothers and sisters who may have a question that will help strengthen them. I pray that God will give me the words to say that will help them to understand. I may not be the wise old bird, but it don't take but just a few words spoken.
It's true.
As long as they're spoken in spirit and in truth.
Bless you, Lord.
I always say this every time, I try to say this every time I get up there. Brother Roger knows already what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Little is much when God's in it. And I thank God for it. Anyone with unspoken request, I believe. Well, I'll tell you, I feel good in the Lord tonight. Brother Bobby asked me Yeah, Phil, if I had to crawl over here on my hands and knees, I'd do it,
Praise the Lord.
to do my little bit for the Lord.
Yes, sir.
Anyone with a spoken request?
And yes, pray for Eddie. He's, had that headache all day yesterday and all night. And it eased up for a little while and it came right back today. But he's got an appointment the first of, January, first part of January, to a different neurologist that specializes in headaches. So let's pray that they can do something to help him.
Amen.
Yes, amen. God bless.
And we all want the church to remember David, he's, still in a lot of pain, and, they keep doing MRI when he got hurt, and now he's getting numb in his arms and the upper arm, and he had a big knot in his back, this morning. But remember him in prayer. I went with Marcia up there last state university, and, up there at the hospital, and, the doctor told her that they upped her oxygen to 4 liters and 5 if she was exercising. But they wanted to do therapy, and she goes back in 3 months. And I don't know if she'll, be able to be on long-term course yet or what they're going to do. Just remember Marcia in prayer.
Amen. Amen. God bless. Someone else? Brother Keith?
Hey, I talked to Brother Adkins, he looked up to Merton Road till 3 o'clock, some Merton. Thought she had kidneys out.
Oh.
So
That ain't no fun.
keep her in prayer.
Amen.
Amen.
Pray
Someone
for the
else?
service tonight.
Yes.
Amen.
Pray for Brother Bob.
Amen.
I hope the Lord didn't give him that message this morning, because I've been looking forward to it tonight.
I have to. I believe that's a preview.
Yeah. Pray for It's good to see you in the service.
Feels great.
Pray for Vernon, and Kristen, and Otto, and Nikki, and all my grandkids, even my in-laws. Pray for them.
Amen. Amen.
And Brother George too, I got her on the church right before we come to church. She's really sad because she can't get over here, all the riding partners that she came with, gone. She ain't got nobody to come over here with her. And she said, tell the church to keep praying for her. She loves everybody.
Amen.
She truly misses getting to come over on them Sundays like that. And she's afraid to cross that hill by herself. Well, it's not safe for a woman to cross that hill.
That's right.
Hopefully she can get away over here till Christmas break. She's really wanting to come back. She's real forward to it. Trying to get Kelly to rearrange her schedule as she can. Y'all just keep praying for her.
Amen.
Remember me and my home, my family, like my baby brother Anthony Martin's. Pray
Bless
for
you, Lord.
Ed, and Ed was on to Huntington tonight. You gotta take Houston to stop you for speaking on his foot, so remember them to have a safe journey. Let's pray for all the Christmas plays that's going on throughout the land. God brought the lost up these Christmas plays.
God
Lord,
bless.
don't turn too late for me. Let's pray for this service tonight. God, have his way in this service.
Amen. Amen.
All that on.
Yeah, Bethel Church announced they're having theirs this Wednesday, isn't it, Bob?
No, we don't have the feast play on the 21st, 25th, Saturday before Christmas.
They'll go up there this Wednesday, then. Oh, look, but anyway, they invited the church to come out.
All right.
We're having dinner, our Christmas dinner on that same night.
Oh,
You
well,
can either come down and eat dinner, and you go over to the play, or whatever you want to do.
well, Bob,
Well,
Brother Andy, y'all remember me this week. Me and Nancy will make the journey down to North Carolina, we'll down for an interview. And really, I don't want to go, I don't want to leave my family or my church, And I'm just kind of stuck on a rock. I don't know which way to go, which side to go.
we'll pray about that.
I'm just scared to death, if we go this way, I can be home with my family and get able to go to church. Or if I go this way, I can keep everything, that I'm doing now. I just don't know which way to turn.
bless you, Lord.
Just take it to the Lord.
God make a decision for you.
Yeah.
God's the
God's direction.
Anyone else? Brother John?
Sure, he's got an uncle. His name was David Adkins. triple bypass Wednesday. And I asked her before I come, she said, far as she knows, they go to church, he's a Christian, that's a good thing. But remember them in prayer. And also, if I mess this up, Kenny and Vicky, they're having Arlene Gamble's wake and funeral tonight. That's my cousin, Glenn Adkins, his wife, Paula's mommy died. So they're having her thing tonight, and then they're just gonna be at church tomorrow, go to the graveyard tomorrow, so just remember them in prayer. Pray for me if you run out of anybody, man. I love Jesus. It's good to be here tonight.
God bless you, brother. Sister Rhonda.
I'd like for y'all to keep my sister Terry in your prayers. She's having major surgery in the morning, and if they make one little mistake, she could be paralyzed for life. So please just pray that everything goes okay in the morning.
Amen. Amen.
Jennifer's friend has passed away, and they're having her wake and funeral and stuff on Tuesday, and then Karen Tucker, a lot of y'all probably don't know her, but she used to be Jennifer's boss. She was right there. She got cancer a couple of years ago, and she passed away with that. Keep on praying for them, one of Jennifer's best friends, too. It's good to be best friends with your boss, ain't it? But we should be best friends with your boss. But she was a good one.
Sis.
Like for church to keep my mom in prayers.
Amen.
I'd like the church to remember Bruce Daly's family, have his wake stuff tomorrow night.
That is tomorrow.
Yeah, and remember my mom, my little grandson, remember Norman Harvey and his wife, and also remember their daughter Sharon.
Amen. Please.
Remember my sisters, and they're both sick, where they need prayer. And so I'll give the grace first.
Amen. Anyone else?
Dennis Jr. too, he sent me a message and said, I really need y'all to pray for me, so let's do that.
Amen.
He tell me what's going on.
I need your prayers. I've got 3 doctor's appointments this week, all 3 in Charlotte. Just pray for safe journey and everything. God's good. I've got treatment and all that good stuff. I need your prayers. Brother Gary, would you take us to the Lord in prayer, please?
Thank you.
this offer, and we trust you. And you should get it. It worked out to the good, so we'll let you serve. Just what I had to make the motion. God is the one that does this thing. I pray Lord, that you will show us that, the Lord, the Lord, let us do what you have us to do. We give you praise, Lord.
In Jesus' name, we love you. Amen. Who'll be first with a testimony on your heart or a song?
Robert's got a request.
Someone want to testify when Brother Roger gets ready? Praise the Lord. Once again, it's an awesome place to be.
Bless the Lord.
All the reason, but he does, and knows what I need before I even ask.
Yes, he
He
does.
has brought me through so much, I'm still trusting him for a healing in my body. I love the Lord with each and every one of them.
Praise the Lord, God bless you. Someone else?
I know I sang this song to death, but when somebody gets a blessing out of it,
Bless him, Lord.
then I'll keep singing.
Yes, and Lord.
This old house, Lord, I'm living in, it's needing repair. The windows and the shutters are in. The cold air, I said to myself, Lord, I'm gonna fix all when I can get the time. But all I'm getting lately is leaving on my mind. Well, I guess I should be looking, listen, for a better place to live. Oh, but I can't get excited about this world and what it can give. I couldn't care less. I could buy it all with a solitary dime. Oh, what good would this world do me? But leave it on my mind. Lately, all I got is leaving on my mind. Yes, see, that's all I think about most all the time. Soon, and very soon, I'll leave my troubles far behind. 'Cause lately I've got leaving on my mind.
Amen.
Good job, man.
Yes, and
Good job, my brother.
I'd like to thank old George Dosey, he always keeps Robert to sing at our fest.
Yeah, some too, ain't
Sister Jennifer, you know the same?
Bring it little as much up here, let's sing. Oh, no, I'm all right.
Someone else have a testimony while Sister Jennifer.
Thank you.
I can't stop.
Love having a good time. I was gonna tell the ladies, I was sure glad I was invited. I had a good time. I hurt the baby, you know. I mean, we had some the Lord, and we had good fellowship. We had a really good time there last night, and I will thank the ladies for inviting me to it. And if you didn't make it, is that that little restaurant down there, a little Chinese restaurant? Go home hungry at your own fault. Well, if you're hungry at your own fault, we have plenty of food down here different days. Yeah, praise the Lord. Yeah.
Someone else?
Andy, I just want to say I love the Lord, and remember me this coming year that I can be a better person, and a better Christian, and remember Katie and Jennifer, that they have some faith.
Amen.
That's a good prayer. We all pray.
Yes, that's right. Someone else?
Well, I can't do something. You gotta wait Tuesday night.
You know, Brother Indian, I was there praying last night, and I was asking the Lord to, you know, touch me and heal me and help me and lead and guide and direct me. But then it seemed like almost he said, why? Why? You know, and that's a good question. Why did he ask these things? Just for our benefit? No, he said, no. I thought, no. And the Holy Spirit said, for his praise.
That's right. Bless the Lord.
Amen.
If I ask him to allow me to see one more day, my goal should be for his praise, for his glory, and for his honor. Anything that I ask him for the food upon the table, I started praying that way this morning. I said, Lord, thank you for this food. Bless me with this food that you blessed. Bless me to the help and health of my body for your praise, for your glory. For your honor. I want to live that one more day.
Bless the Lord.
Just for his praise, for his glory, and for his honor.
Amen.
That's what our life is to be about anymore, isn't it? Amen.
Amen.
I'm getting excited about that now. But I believe we're going to get the message phase 2. We had phase 1 this morning. We're going to get phase 2 tonight. That's what I believe we're going to get. We had a good time this morning, and the old saying is, it's going to get gooder.
Good or good?
Gooder or good.
Y'all
Yes.
stay much of prayer, Sister Jim.
Yeah.
We'll call it message a sequel.
Part two.
Sequel part 2.
Put the pressure on Bob.
Crossing the calm sea with Jesus, the disciples were getting concerned. The wind started violently blowing, but he was asleep in the stern. Does he not care that we perish? We're helpless and we're so afraid. Jesus arose when they called him, and he said to them, where is your faith? Because you prayed all night, 'cause you held on with all your might. Child, your cries have awoken the Master. Oh, he knows your voice. Lift your hands, it's time to rejoice. Child, your cries have awoken the Master. It came here without any warning. The storm of your life had begun. Seeing no hope in the distance, you're frightened and nowhere to run. By now winds are so deadly, the water's so deep. We try to be patient, 'cause soon he'll bring peace. Just one word for his voice, and it all must cease. Because you pray all night, 'cause you've held on with all your might. Child, your cries have woken the Master. Oh, he knows your voice. Lift your hands, it's time to rejoice. Child, your cries have woken the Master. Child, your cries have woken the Master.
Good job.
Oh.
Bless our Lord.
Praise the Lord.
When you're up against the wall and your mountain seems so tall, and you realize that life's not always fair, you can run away and hide, let the old man decide, or you can change your circumstances with a prayer. When everything falls apart, praise his name. When you have a broken heart, raise your hands and say, Lord, you're all I need. You're everything to me, and you'll take the pain away. When it seems you're all alone, praise his name. When you feel you can't go on, just raise your hands and say, greater is he that is within me. You can praise the hurt away. If you'll just praise his name. Praise His name. When you have a broken heart, just raise your hands and say, Lord, you're all I need. You're everything to me, and you'll take the pain away. When it seems you're all alone, praise His name. When you feel you can't go on, raise your hands and say, greater is He that is within me. You can praise the hurt away. Greater is He that is within me. You can praise the hurt away. If you'll just praise His
Thank you, Lord.
Someone else with a song or testimony.
Thank you, Lord.
Brother Andy, I want to praise the Lord tonight. He took me through that surgery and I didn't have a lot of the complications that they were afraid I would. I thank Him that I'm able to come to His house tonight.
Amen.
Praise the
And I
Lord.
love you.
Amen, that's right.
We're thankful to see you tonight, too, sis. Want you to know we love you. Someone else.
Hey, Brother Randy, I don't want to take no time away from our pastor, but could Kevin sing, one or the other, Glory Land, Call Me God? And I love you, Pastor, I don't mean to take no time away.
We take no time, maybe this time, Lord's God.
All right, amen.
It's through my heart to tell you to see this church break out shout and tell you
I hear you. Bless your heart,
Lord,
brother.
my God.
Love you.
Amen.
Someone else while he gets ready.
That's all right, man. Yeah.
It's an awesome place to be tonight. Feel the presence of the Lord, you know. Sometimes, you know, when we're quiet, we're just like sponges. We're soaking it all in. But you know, there's an awesome, sweet spirit here.
Amen.
It's I don't know, sometimes you just can't explain it, but you can feel it.
Yeah, amen.
It's the presence of the Holy Ghost here now.
Sometimes it's better to tell them so.
Someone else.
Brother Andy, I'd like to stand up and say, I love you, Lord, and I thank you for all of this. He has stolen upon me, you know, I've always said this a million times, I may be a blind man down here, but today I see clearer than I've ever seen before in my life.
Praise the
Lord, I
Lord.
don't see with the natural eye anymore, I see with the spiritual eye, and I thank God that one night when I felt I was lost and undone without the Lord safety of God, and that I was headed for a devil's hell, that I came to an old-fashioned altar, and I knelt down there and said, Lord, forgive me, and He forgive me of all my sins. You know what? The world may bring it before me, the world may throw it in my face, but you know what? God said, I'll cast the spurs east. It's from the west.
Good, that's right, sure.
You know what? He'll never remember me again. But you know what? People throw it up to you. People make fun of it. But you know what? I'm not. The song Brother Kevin's getting ready to sing. One of these days they can make life for me right now. But when the Lord comes back, they can call me God because I'm going up to be Lord.
Amen.
Because He said one day after a while, at the front of God, Jesus Christ is going to sing from heaven with a shout, and the voice of the archangel and the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ is going to rise first, and we that are alive will remain. I shall be changed in a moment, and a twinkling of an eye, and called up to me to be with the Lord, and there shall we ever be with the Lord to cover one another with these words. You know what I'm looking forward? I've got my eyes set couple answers tonight are looking forward for the Lord to come back, because Jesus said in His holy word, He said, therefore, I say unto you, to watch, for you know not the day or the hour the Lord's going to come back. Only my Father which is in heaven knows that day. So we better be ready to go up, prayed up, and ready to go up, because He's coming back one day, church. Quickly, He's coming back after a while, but it's prepared and ready to go home to be with Him. I can never ever thank the Lord enough for what He's done for me.
That's right.
What He's brought me through, what He's going to take me through. As long as I'll hang on to that unchanged.
Amen, brother.
The greater is He that's in me than He that's in the world.
That's
You
right.
know what? Christmas is coming up one day, pretty soon here. And you know what? People all the world's forgotten about what Christmas is all about.
Yeah.
And that is for the greatest gift of all, the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's not about the worldly things. It's not how much you get under that tree. It's about your soul being saved from the devil's hell. That's what Jesus Christ came down here today. For each and every one of us down here today is to save us. But you know what? We got to choose that way, Brother Amen. We got to choose that way.
Right.
It's our choice.
Our
It's where
choice.
we're going to go one day after a while. When these eyes close in death, we're going to make that choice.
Yeah, we are.
We've done to make that choice.
Right.
The Bible says, however a tree shall fall, there shall it lay.
That's right.
You know what? I want to choose the Lord now while my life
Amen.
is well. And
Amen.
able to choose Him and praise Him. Because I want to hear Him say one day after a while, welcome in the good place.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Even now to the joys of thy Lord.
Yeah.
You know what a glorious time it's going to be.
Yeah.
God pray for me, church.
Amen.
Good testimony, Al.
Y'all pray for me. We got new phones last week, and I had to move everything over to this new phone. I don't know. I hope it's the right version and everything. If it ain't, y'all just bear with me.
Bless the Lord. Bless Him, Lord.
New phones. Call me a dreamer, 'cause I call it mine. Heaven, I don't care. Call me crazy, 'cause I'm homesick for it, and I have never been there. Call me a stranger, 'cause that's all I am. I know I don't belong. Call me anything, but when He calls me, call me gone. Call me gone. I'll be leaving. Call me gone. You'll be grieving if you're left here without Jesus to call on. Call me gone. There's no more heartaches. Call me gone. And all that it takes is for me to hear Him calling, call me gone. This is going to be reality one day. You know, I've been called an awful lot of things in my lifetime, and to be honest, smart wasn't often one of them. But thank God I was smart enough one night to call Jesus Christ the Lord of my life. You know, I called it quits to a whole lot of sin. Because of that commitment, a lot of people laugh at us. You know, they may call us foolish, church, but let them go ahead and laugh, because you see, that don't really bother me at all. Because even a fool can see by the shape she's in, by the signs of these times, this world is just about to fall. Just as long as we let Jesus call the shots, we ain't got a thing to fear. When that roll is caught up yonder, don't call me, because I ain't going to be here. You can call me God. I'll be leaving. Call me gone. And you'll be grieving if you're left here without Jesus for me to hear him call me God. Yeah, when Jesus calls for me, just call me God.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesus.
I sit over here a few minutes, first half of the church service, I guess.
Was kind of down and in the dumps because just,
Lift him up.
I don't know about you all, but I say it all the time, and I'm not a pastor of this church. Bobby is our pastor. But for some reason, when God called me into ministry 3 or 4 years ago, it's like I took on a new heart for people. I took on a new concern for people. And I am just so concerned and so worried about people right now that just, not the ones that can't be here. I'm not talking about the ones that's sick and working and can't be here. I'm talking about these ones that are just anything and everything that they come up with to miss church. That's the ones that I'm worried about. That's the ones I'm concerned about. People, I don't know if we realize how many people are doing that. They're laying out until they're backslid, until they're just back out in the world. And I've seen it happen too many times. I've been serving the Lord since I was a teenager, and I've seen it happen to people too many times. It's happened to me. I laid out until I got so weak I didn't want to come anymore. And before I knew it, I was on the verge of backslide myself. I've seen it happen. And that's why I'm so concerned about people. I'm so worried about them. They've just lost, Bobby calls it, they've lost their zeal, they've lost their joy, they've lost their desire. They've lost their first love, Brother John. Their first love in Jesus. They've lost it. And I know that new wears off of a relationship. When you get together with a girlfriend or a boyfriend when you're dating, the new will wear off sometimes and things change, things get a little different. I know that. But we got to keep our fire for Jesus. We got to keep our passion for the Lord. My passion and my fire is coming to church, is serving the Lord, and doing what He wants me to do. That's what my passion is. And I don't mean to take, I know we've already took up a lot of time tonight. I don't mean to take up a whole lot more time, but God has laid it on my heart. This is tonight. I've been waiting to bring this song out for Brother Kenny. I've never sang it in church. I've sang it along with the radio, and other than that, that's the only time I've ever sang it. But about 3 or 4 years ago, when I was driving a school bus, and I was in between bus runs, and down in the town of Logan, this song came on the radio, and the Spirit of the Lord just got all over me, just like you said it did you a couple weeks ago. And I had to pull off beside the road. It was one of them where you had to pull off beside the road because you can't see anymore because your eyes are just seeing nothing but water, and you just feel the Spirit of God all over you. And I just pulled over beside the road down there beside where Four Seasons is, down in that area right there, going towards West Logan, and I just started having me a good time with the Lord and worshiping and praising. This is a worship song that, like I say, I've never sang this before, but will you guys pray for me? Get into this song and just listen to what this song says. Listen to the words to this song. Like I say, I've never sang it before, but with God's blessing, we'll do the best we can. Amen. Oh, I've heard 1,000 stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard the tender whispers of love in the dead of night, and you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. Oh, I've seen many searching for answers far and wide. I know we're all searching for answers. Only you provide, 'cause you know just what we need before we say a word. You're a good, good
Praise the Lord, praise the
Praise the
Lord.
Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. Good father.
He's a good father, amen.
Amen.
That's some blessed man.
Amen.
I saw it lifting Kevin up too. When Jim was singing that song a while ago, the Lord spoke to me and said, go tell Kevin that song's for him. And I think he already knew it. I saw him over there feeling it. I know he was down in the dumps over not being able to have that youth play, but we're going to have a play here. We're not going to let the devil defeat us, are we, church? We're not defeated. We're winners. We're on the winning team. If we have to do 3 parts, we're going to have that play. Get out of the way, devil. We're going to have it.
Right.
Somebody's going to come that night. If they don't come to this altar, there's going to be some seeds sown in their heart. I say glory to God. We're going to have it.
Amen.
We're going to have it, and we're going to do it with joy.
Yeah.
We're going to do it with thanksgiving. We're not doing it to be seen or to see. We're doing it for the glory of God. And God will bless the effort that is put forth to do that. He always has. Has He ever let us down? He's never let us down. This morning, I told you about my experience with, it's been a couple of days. God's been toiling with my heart and trying to guide me in the right way. And you know how sometimes children are. You try to tell them the right way to go, and they want to go the opposite way. Well, we're no different as children of God. Sometimes we want to go the opposite way. But as I was watching the programs this morning, I think there was 3 different religious programs on that had Matthew 18 up on their billboards, or one had a painting in the church and it had Matthew 18. And I kept thinking, Lord, I've never spoke on that, never preached on it. And probably when I get started, you will know the reasons why. And a lot of preachers don't preach on this. But I said this morning that if there's going to be something good come out of the Word tonight. Y'all believe that? Anytime you hear the Word of God, it's good. Whether it cuts you or lifts you up, it's still good. Because God chastens those whom He loves. So if we get chastened tonight, it's because the Father, the good Father, loves you.
Amen.
And we love Him, don't we?
Amen.
Amen. Let's look at verse 23 in chapter 18 of the book of Matthew. And boy, I pray God get me out of this. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king who would take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him who owed him 10,000 talents. Keep that 10,000 talents in your thoughts tonight. But for as much as he had nothing with which to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion. Keep compassion in your mind tonight. And loosed him and forgave him the debt. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii, or pence, and he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me what thou owest. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, Have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. And he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. So when the fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told unto the Lord all that was done. Then his Lord, after he had called him, said unto him, O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou besoughtest me. Shouldest not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on you? And his Lord was angry and delivered him to the inquisitors till he should pay all that was due unto him. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one his brother his trespasses. You may be seated. I don't know what you see in the reading of these scriptures. I don't know if you see the story of a king in ancient days in Jerusalem collecting debts. I don't know what you see in this. But I want to tell you what the Lord is showing me, and I believe he'll show you the same thing. I see a king of heaven. I see the King of glory forgiving us our debts. We owe a debt that we could not pay.
Amen. That's right.
And the King of glory came and paid that debt. Now, keep that 10,000 talents in your thoughts, and look how much was 10,000 talents. I read a little bit of history on the talents, and the talent is weight. It's not a coin, it's a weight. And not many times they paid with talents or weights of gold or silver to pay debts. And 10,000 weights or talents of gold was more than they took in a whole year, in the whole city, in the whole year. They took approximately 300 talents in a year. Now this is according to history now. And this fella owed 10,000 talents. 10,000. That was more than 3 years. That was almost 4 years of what the whole city would take in. Now, the reason that Jesus used the 10,000 is to show that he owed so much debt that he could not pay that debt. But he prayed and he said, give me a little time and I will repay you the debt. Now, the Lord knew that he could not repay that debt. But because he sought mercy, he forgave him that debt. Now, when I came down to the old-fashioned altar in 1974, I owed a debt that I could not pay. It was more than I had. I was not able to repay that debt. But I prayed and I besought the Master, and he forgave me that debt.
Praise the Lord.
Now,
praise the Lord.
Go on with me for a little while. This is the foundation being laid. He forgave me of that debt. Now, regardless if you've been a Christian 1 year or 1 month or 10 years or even 50 years, when you came to the altar, he forgave you a debt that you could have been working on for all those years and still not pay it back. There's no way. Somebody said in a testimony or something here earlier, they don't know how they would ever pay God back. You cannot pay him back for sending his only son into this world to die for my sins and for your sins. There's no way that we can repay him for giving his only son to die for the ungodly.
Pretty sharp, Bob.
And in our Sunday school lessons, we've been studying about Paul's teaching to the Galatians, and Paul said that if the law could have brought righteousness, then Jesus wouldn't have had to die. And we all know that if any one of us could have went to the cross and died for the sins of the world, Jesus wouldn't have had to come here and die. But none of us could pay that debt. None of us could pay that price. As a matter of fact, the scripture says heaven was searched. Think about that right now. Think about heaven. What do you think is in heaven right now?
Saints of God.
Every saint of God that has ever died since the beginning of time that has went to heaven, all heaven was searched.
Amen.
And there was not found one that was worthy to pay that debt. The earth was searched. Who was in this earth? At the time of the writing, there was the 12 apostles were here. Abraham was here, Isaac was here, Moses was here. All these great patriarchs of time, they were here. They were in this world, and the earth was searched, and none of them was worthy to pay the debt.
Amen.
Beneath the earth.
Bless the Lord.
Who's beneath the earth?
The dead.
The patriarchs of old, the saints of God, every child of great men of God. People that stood for the Lord.
Yep.
They're in the earth. Their bodies are still there. They remain there until the Lord comes, as you quoted a while ago, Brother Allen. When he descends from heaven, those bodies will come out of those graves. They're still there. Heaven was searched, the earth was searched, beneath the earth was searched. Not one was found worthy.
Amen.
You remember what John said in Revelation? He said the angel had a little book in his hand. And he said, who shall be able to open the seals of this book? Who is able? None is found worthy. None is found willing. Would you die for the drunk on the street? Would you die for the drug addict that made it broke in your house and stole everything you had? Would you die for the rapist that protect your daughter? Would you die for the murderer on death row? Would you die for those people? Not one of us in here would do that. We definitely would not give our children up to save man, would we?
Bless the Lord.
Oh,
Bless the Lord.
are we getting the picture of how great God is and how much He loves us? How much did God love you? He sent His only begotten Son. He sent His Son into this world. When John had that vision in Revelation, there was none found worthy. Jesus stood up and said, I'll go. Jesus laid aside his royal garments, put them up on the seat that he was sitting, and took off the crown of a king off of his head. Oh, I wish somebody could hear what we're saying tonight. Took off that crown as a king and said, Father, I'll go.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
Now let me put something out here that you may not be thinking about right now. Jesus knew when he laid that garment down, he knew when he took that crown off that he was going to come into this world and die on the cross of Calvary. Amen. He knew that the only sacrifice for sin was a holy and a pure and a righteous shedding of blood. I'll go. Alan, you're a great man. I believe you're a real man of God.
Amen.
I believe you love people. I believe you love your family. I believe you love your church. I believe you love those people out there and you'd love to get them saved. But your blood couldn't save not one of them. Your blood couldn't save your children. Your blood couldn't save your wife. Your blood can't save me. But the blood of Jesus, hey, it covered a multitude of sin. It took the blood and it's still the blood today. You ain't going to work your way into heaven. You ain't going to pay the preacher. You ain't going to support the church. You ain't going to buy a new carpet. You ain't going to buy a new seat. You ain't going to buy a new light and say, I'm going to heaven. If you get to heaven, you'll get there just like me. You'll be all you'll need. And say, Father, forgive me. What a great God we got. God sent His Son.
Help me, Lord.
Put yourself in this scenario. Picture God. When Jesus stood up and said, I'll go, Father. Picture God. I believe his heart broke. He knew there was only one way. I believe his heart broke. And he looked at his son. And he said, go. And Jesus came into this world not as a king. No. He came into this world not to overthrow kingdoms, not to set up a throne room in Jerusalem. He came into this world as a little baby. Amen. Born in flesh and blood. Yes. I don't know about you, but I don't remember the earliest pain that I ever had, but I'm sure as a child, my mommy had to kiss boo-boos a many a time. Amen. I'm sure this old flesh and blood, I'm bled. I've got scars all over me. Every one of my family does, because we throw rocks at each other, we shot BB guns at each other. Hey, we bled, we hurt, and first love, that broke our hearts and all that stuff. Jesus came in here and took a flesh and blood body, just like me and you. Knew pain, disappointment, sorrow, agony. He knew what he was taking on when he left heaven. Born in Bethlehem. What was the first disappointing thing that ever happened to him? No room in the inn. No room. As his mother and Joseph went to the innkeeper. We need a room. She's going into labor. We've got to have a place where he can be born. We ain't got no room for him. There's no room in the inn. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but here's just a little thought that's coming to me. The story of Joseph and Mary was probably very popular in those days. There was probably some people, because you know people haven't changed a whole lot. When they hear some good juicy gossip, they're going to carry it down the road. And they're going to tell everybody they come to. And they probably say, well, that's Mary that says she's carrying the Messiah. She was engaged to Joseph and she's pregnant here with somebody else. They probably shook their heads and wagged their tongues and looked at her like crazy. And they said, we ain't got no room for him. And I don't know how he ended up in the stables. But Joseph took Mary to the stables. Maybe somebody recommended go down to the stable. And Jesus was born in a stable in Bethlehem. And they said they wrapped him in swaddling clothes. How many knows what swaddling clothes are? A rag that they wiped down the donkeys and the sheep and comforted and wiped them. They wrapped him in dirty clothes. See, even when he was born, he didn't get the treatment that these babies get today. Oh my God, we send out invitations and we throw big celebrations and come and see, I got the beautiful grandchild in the world. And then the next one hollers, I got the beautiful grandchild in the world. We all got the beautiful grandchild in the world. We all feel that way. But he was born in that stable. I thought this was going to take about 10 minutes, but I was going to have an extra 10 $10. And he grew up. The next recollection we have, Joseph went down into Egypt to spare him from being killed. But the next recollection we have of a great event in Jesus' life was when he was 12 years old. See, they all met on the Sabbath day in the temple, and they opened up the prophecies, the books of prophecy. And they get into the temple, and these high priests with their big fancy clothes on and their big old high hats and almost touch those lights they was building. They wanted to be seen. They wanted to be known. But it was the garments that God had ordained from the very beginning. Amen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting none of that down. But they were there. And Jesus walked in among them as I was reading Isaiah 53. And he said, do you know who the prophets are talking about? Who are you? Come in here and try to teach us. Who are you, son? Well, I'm the son of Joseph and Mary. And he astounded them with his knowledge of Isaiah 53. They was talking about him. He knew it at 12 years old. Mary knew it when he was 12 years old. How would you like to go through your whole life knowing that your son is going to be taken at a certain point and offered as a sacrifice for sins? How would you like to carry Mary's burden? She knew it. You say, can you prove that? Why, absolutely. The angel Gabriel told her. And Isaiah prophesied. How many years? 450 years or so before Jesus was ever born. He prophesied. He astounded them. Then the next recollection we have of Jesus, and I'm sure between that time and possibly around 30 years old, there was a lot of events happening in his life. But the scriptures teach us that around 30 years old, he stepped out. Turned the water into wine. John was baptizing in the river of Jordan, the muddiest river there. Some folks would say, well, why can't we get baptized over here in this river that's running crystal clear? God sometimes will test your almost. He will test your faith. He will test how serious you really are. You ain't going to play no game with God. Behold, God is not mocked. Whatsoever you sow, you shall also reap. You're not going to play games with God. You might fool me. You might fool the church. You might fool somebody up and down the road, but you'll never fool God. Amen. Because He's the one, Lord, that searches the heart and searches the mind and knows exactly what we're thinking. Knows what we're going to do tomorrow. I got plans of heading back to Charleston in the morning. Me and Raj. But God knows what tomorrow holds. I don't. I say if it's the Lord's will, I want to drive back there. But God only knows. John said, behold, the Lamb of God. Amen. Which taketh away the sins of the world. That ought to make you shout right there. Amen. I'm telling you. That ought to make you shout. He took your sins away. He took your sins away, Shane. Amen. Yes. He took your sins away. He didn't commit those sins, but He shed blood for your sins. He took them, and He cast them as far as the east is from the west. Behold, the Lamb of God takes away sin. I'm going to hurry and get back to this. Don't worry. Taketh away the sins of the world. And He walked out into the water. Come here a minute. He walked out into the water. Come here, Andy. Come up here a minute. I know there wasn't 3 in that water, but we baptized somebody, there's going to be 3 or 4 in there. And John was out there in that water, and he was going to baptize Jesus, but he said, Master, Yeah. And you come to me, and he said, suffer it to be so now. And John baptized Jesus in the muddy Jordan. And he came up out of that water, and the Bible says straightway, a voice from heaven rang out. This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. What did I say this morning in Sunday school that we became when we got saved? Sons and daughters of God. Is God pleased with you? Are you His son? Is He pleased with the life you're living? Is He pleased with the way we act in life? Is He pleased every time that Satan bumps us, how we rebuke or how we deal with? Is He pleased with? Are we the sons of God?
Amen.
Woo!
Bless you, Lord.
Let me tell you something else happened in that water hole. You had the Father speaking from heaven. You had the Son in the water. And the Holy Ghost came down in the form of a dove and lit up on Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I don't care who likes it. That's the Word. I was going to baptize you, but I ain't got strength. All three of them was in that water. All three of them was in the beginning. When everything was created. God said, let there be light, and there was light. Scripture goes further to say the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the deep. And it goes further to say wasn't anything made that was made except made with Jesus being there. He was there. The whole Bible bears that. And I'm not getting into doctrine here tonight, and I'm not getting into no debates or don't want to fuss around and argue with nobody, because anybody that argues over the Bible, they're both wrong.
That's right. Amen.
It's not to be argued over, it's not to be debated. The truth is going to stand when the world's on fire. If I'm wrong, God will let me know that's right. Amen? And I'm not wrong. I'm going by what the Scripture says. All right? Anyway, He baptized Jesus. Jesus went up and down Jerusalem and all the regions round about, and He healed people. He raised the dead. He opened up blinded eyes. Blind Bartimaeus, oh, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And He said, what can I do for you? Have you ever asked God for something today and felt like in your heart He said, what do you need, brother? What do you need? Just ask. What is it that I can do for you? Well, here's a thought for you. Why don't sometimes we pray and say, Lord, not what you can do for me, but what can I do for you? Amen. What is it, Lord, that I can do for you? Can we repay the debt? No, we can never repay the debt. But can we do something for God to let Him know how thankful we are? Amen.
Amen.
I've been thinking about this. I pray. I'm like him. I pray for the church. I pray for the people that's not here. I pray, and 9 out of 10 of my prayers is, God, give me this. God, do this for me. God, help me do this. God. He don't ever get tired of hearing it, do he? And it seems like He always comes through. Not exactly when I want Him to, but He always comes through. Why don't we try this sometimes? Why don't we try? Lord, I didn't come here to ask you for anything. I just want to thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me. You say, well, I don't have a new car. I don't have a big bank account. I don't have a fancy house. Man, I'd love to live in a house like Alan or what. We shouldn't go that route. We should be thankful for what we have. We should praise God for what we have. We woke up this morning. We were able to get out of bed and come to Sunday school, come to church. We're able to get in the car and drive to Walmart and drive up and down the road and do whatever we want to do. We're able to do that, and it's blessings from God. And sometimes we don't even look up and thank Him for feeding us that day. Lord, I used to be real bad to forget to pray when I'd go out and eat my dinner. Man, that steak looked so good, I just couldn't wait. I'd dip in it. And then I'd say, oh, Gina have half of hers already eaten.
That's okay.
And I'd say, bless that pie, she done too, Lord.
I remind you.
What's that, honey?
I remind you.
real good for me today. I should not pick on her. She really did a good job. As you can tell, I ate good. But we do these things, we forget to thank God. How many ever thank God for the clothes on your back? Other than that, I mean, he did about every time he gets perfect. Just for the clothes on your back. Have you ever thanked him? A lot of y'all did the same thing. Me and Roger went to school with hand-me-downs. One time a year, we got school clothes. That was at the beginning of the school year. Mother and Daddy would go get us an outfit, maybe 2 outfits later for and a new pair of shoes. That was the only time. Somebody better take care of them. They wear them out. And we'd always get those hand-me-downs. We had some people that would give mother their children's clothes. Because they got clothes 4 or 5 times a year. And they'd give their... I had a shirt on one time, a striped shirt, I'll never forget it, man, a real pretty shirt. One of my cousins said, "Oh, I got a shirt just like that." And I said, "Well, you have a shirt on." Mine now. He recognized that shirt, but he didn't know that was his shirt. I got a shirt just like that. Instead of being embarrassed, I said, "No, you had one." The gospel truth, me and Roger did in the 4th grade. His kick bottom was a teacher. We had a pair of sandals that we chained with each other. They called one of us up there, and they called one of us up to the desk every day. Up there, she'd bend your hand back and take a shoe sole, smack your hand with it. That's how she did it. She said, "Come up here, Roger." Roger's gun up there. I slip them shoes over I had. He'd slip them over me. And we did that year. We really did. They felt so sorry for us, and I'd love to have a pair of them now. They gave us a pair of them granny shoes with heels about that high. I grew 4 inches in one day. Those shoes would be worth a fortune if I had a pair of them now. They gave us them, and me and Roger was so embarrassed to wear them because everybody knew where we got them. We called them commodity shoes for a long time. Commodity shoes. Instead of being thankful that we had them, we was embarrassed that we had them. Now we were children. You know, we can understand that as children. Now I'm going to get real serious right here. Sometimes we still act that way for others. Sometimes we do. "Oh God, give me this. God provide this," and He'll provide it in a way that you didn't expect, maybe you didn't want. We'll say, "No, Lord, I meant a Cadillac, not a Cadillac." God don't work that way. He supplies your needs. Many times He gives us our wants. But He didn't promise He would supply your wants, but your needs. David, I believe it was, said, "I was young, and now I'm old. I've never seen God's seed forsaken, nor begging bread." What does it take to get that from God? Faith. It takes faith. How much faith? Now God can deal out a measure of faith for every man. But He said the faith of a grain of mustard seed. Didn't remind me to bring that grain of mustard seed with me one of these days. All of y'all probably got one, but in case you ain't, I got one that I think Renee maybe gave me several years back or so. A little tiny black dot is about all it is. And if we got that much faith, God will honor it to the point where He said, if you say to that mountain, be moved, it would be moved. Now stop and think about that statement. When He made that statement, we didn't have equipment like we got now. Right down there on the corridor, I went by one day, and there was nothing there. And I went by the next day, and they was moving a mountain from this side of the road to that side of the road. You see, the day has come. Well, if you got the faith, you can move that mountain from here and move it over here. They can do it now, can't they? They can do it now. But how are we going to repay God for what He did? 10,000 talents. And the master had compassion on him. And he forgave him his debts. I'm going to get to the heart of the message tonight, okay? And I hope everybody still loves me after tonight. I'm really, really serious. This is serious business. The master has forgiven us for all of our sins. All of them. cast them as far as east is from west. Some of us sinned more than others did, but it doesn't matter. One sin will take you down.
Amen.
And the devil will tell you there's a white lie, there's no such thing as a little white lie. A lie is a lie. All liars will have their part in the lake that burneth with fire and brimstone. Will be cast into that lake of fire. All liars, all adulterers, all whoremongers, all idolaters. Going to have your part in it. All murderers going to have a part in that lake of fire. But he forgave us more than 10,000 talents. He forgave us. He used that to show the depth of love and forgiveness that the Lord had for that servant. And he has forgiven us more. Here it comes. Brace yourself.
Bless him, Lord.
Have you really and truly, from the depths of your heart, forgiven people their trespasses against you?
Come on.
Have you? Don't answer to me, because you don't owe me nothing. I'm just telling you what God's saying. Answer to God. Answer from your own heart. All of us have been hurt. All of us have been disappointed. I have been hurt, and I've been hurt by church people. I really have. And the reason I said church people, because true Christians, if they hurt you, they'll come back and say, I'm sorry. A true Christian. Somebody that's really got the love of Christ in them. If they hurt you, I'm talking about deliberate hurt. Sometimes we hurt people who don't even know we hurt them. I had a lady carry something for 2 years before she told me she was mad at me, and I didn't even know she was mad at me. Every time I seen her, how you doing? Bad. About all I could get. Weird. I thought, she must be more suffering. And finally she confessed to me what it was. It's because I stood against gays and lesbians. Because she had friends that's gays and lesbians. That's okay. God didn't tell you to hate them. He didn't. But you better not get behind that movement and say it's all right because you're my friend. It's all right, God's going to take you to heaven anyway. I'm going to preach and I'm going to teach that lifestyle will take you straight to hell. Amen. If you don't like it, that's just fine. I'm going to please God and not man. Amen. There's a lot of places that don't want you to say things like that. There's a lot of people. Everybody's got something going on in their family that is an abomination against God. Everybody. Y'all know I got one in my family that has chosen to be gay. I said chosen to be gay because he wasn't born that way. When that doctor smacked his bottom and he started crying, they said, you got a boy here. The doctor didn't change it and God didn't change it. When he got up there to be a teenager, he decided he would change it. I'm not patting it on the back. I'm not saying it's all right, go ahead and do it, honey. Because we do have a God that loves you. We do have a God that does not desire to cast you into hell, but that's just as sure as you will go over top of the blood of Jesus Christ, you'll stand before a vengeful God and a judgment God. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. If you sow to the flesh destruction, you'll reap damnation. If you sow to the soul spiritual, you'll reap eternal life. God never told one of us we had to be perfect. As a matter of fact, He said there is none perfect. Save that which is in heaven. None. We all make our mistakes. I try my best. If I run across somebody, even when that young man talks to me, I try to talk to him in love. I try to steer him back to the right path. I don't go out there and kick them and judge them and try to beat them down. I don't do that. God don't hate them. It's God's will that everybody go to heaven. It's God's will. Man makes the choices themselves. They make the choice. You remember when the prophets was talking to the Jewish people and they said, we're not going to hear you no more. We're not going to take your advice no more. We're not going to listen to your sound doctrine. We're not going to take the prophecy that God's given you. We're going to do things our way. Well, in America, people are doing things their way. But they're going to find out it should have been God's way all along. Because their way is going to take them down a road that they cannot get back from. You can't get out of hell when you're there. I don't care how many books have been written, that they died and went to hell, come back, I don't believe a word of it. They might have had some kind of experience and was very near death, and God showed them what hell was really like. They might have had some experience like that. But if they went to hell, they stayed there. I'm telling you right now, you ain't going to get out of there. If that is your destination and that's where you end up being, and the very second that death overtakes someone and they're lost and undone without God, their soul and their spirit will descend into hell.
Amen.
And if you're ready to go, that's the reason Christians ain't afraid to die. That's the reason, I mean, a lot of times we sat by the bedside of people that were leaving this world and they looked up and they smiled because they knew they're going to heaven. I was beside your daddy's bed, me and Eddie Maynard. When he passed away, he was not afraid because he had made peace with God. Your mom was not afraid. You remember what Paul said? We come over there and talked to Bessie when she had dementia, I believe it was, and she couldn't remember her children, she couldn't remember us. And Paul said, do you know who Jesus is? Oh yeah, know who Jesus is. She wouldn't forget Jesus.
Amen.
Hey, you can take the 10 Commandments off the courthouse wall, but you can't take Jesus out of her heart. The devil may take her mind, he may take parts of his body. He can't take Jesus out of your heart. When Jesus gets in your heart, it's there permanently, my friend. I don't care how far you go down the road. You may walk away from the church. You may go down the road and start drinking, cussing, fighting, but you'll never get rid of the thing that you had. You'll know how good it was. Never be satisfied until you come back home. Been there and done that. You'll never be happy until you come back home. Man, I sat beside of a lot of bedsides. I've seen people die without God, and their facial expression was agony. I've seen people die that was saints of God that have lived for the Lord, and they just say, Lord, I'm ready. Come and get me, Lord. Last words, I guess, we heard Mama King say, Lord, if you ain't going to heal me, just take me home. Laying in that hospital bed down in Logan. We had little beds around hers there, and we was just sitting there and spending the night with her. We decided to go to sleep that night because all of us was tired. Me and Noah and Jennifer went down to Walmart, bought one of them big air mattresses, and then me and Jen cuddled up on that thing. It was comfortable. And the nurse come in, she said, hey girls. And they jumped up and said, something's wrong with me. She's gone. She slipped away and went on to heaven before we even closed our eyes to go to sleep. We was just saying we're tired, we're going to lay down and rest a while. And here comes that nurse. Hey girls. They already knew what was happening, didn't they? Miss King knew what was happening. She was in pain and agony. She said, Lord, if you ain't leaving, take me home. With a big smile on her face. What better way to go than to go in the Lord? Amen. Whether you're in the pulpit, whether you're in a car, whether you're in a coal mine, no matter where you are, you got Jesus with you. And when death comes, you can smile in the face of death. The world can't understand it. People can't understand why we can shout, why we can laugh, why we can raise our hands, knowing that diseases come up on our body, knowing that we lose loved ones, knowing that we hurt, our backs killing us, but we come on to church anyway. Hey, a lot of these people just take their old Tylenol, go in there and get into bed. But God's people are so set in their ways, they take a Tylenol and come on to church. Man. I took one earlier today. I don't care a minute. My back started hurting me. I said, hey, give me one of them ibuprofen, Jen. I'm going to church. My back ain't hurting now. It probably will when I get home. That's all right. I'm enjoying it right now. I'm having a good time. He paid the debt. I don't want you to forget this statement. He paid the debt.
Yes, he did.
You couldn't pay it. I know that you'd give your life for your children. You wouldn't give your life for that drug addict up and down the road that you don't even know the total stranger. You wouldn't give your life for that. No. You wouldn't give your life for that murderer. Somebody breaks in my building and steals stuff. You know what my first thought is? not forgive them, Lord, but to get a hold of them. You're right. My God, I'd like to be out there when they come in that door. Yeah. My buddy Paul was up at Bethel Church. One night, it's been years ago. I was up there, and Mike Pollard, I believe it was preaching, and he got to preaching on it. The Bible said if somebody smites you on one cheek, you turn the other one. Oh, amen. So guess where Mike went? He went straight to Paul. And he said, but watch this right here, I'm going to prove this. And he slapped Paul in the face. Oh. He said, he ain't going to hurt me. He said, watch this. Slapped him on the other side. After church, I said, Paul, what was you thinking when he done this? If he'd slapped me one more time, I'd have got him.
I got no side.
He slapped you twice.
I don't have a third side.
Turn that other cheek and slap you too. I was so glad that he didn't slap him that third time. You know what the theory of people is, don't you? The Bible don't say what to do after that. But it does, don't it? It does say what to do after that. Peter asked the question, how often shall I forgive my brother? 7 times a day? Yeah. Now one writer put it this way, he said, Peter thought he would put a number out there that God would say, yeah, 7 times. God said, I say to thee, not 7 times, but 7 times 7. In other words, that's a number that I don't believe anybody can feed you that many times a day. In other words, it's like the 10,000 talents. Your love and your forgiveness is supposed to be immeasurable. It's a child of God. He said, forgive my brother their trespasses. And when we've been offended, and I mentioned a while ago about Christians, not Christians, church members. We've been offended by church members many times in our lives. I've been told, no, you can't speak. I've been told, sit down. You know, I've been told a lot. Didn't really like it, didn't feel good. He walked out once and had to go back and apologize for it. I'm still holding on to God. We have to have the character of Jesus Christ. We have to put on Christ. We can't let this right here rule how we conduct ourselves among the people out there. You're never going to get your children in. You're never going to get your brothers, your sisters, your husbands, your wives, you're never going to get them in by acting like the flesh. Because they're going to judge you. They're going to judge you. Now, I used to have this opinion, and I'm going to shut up. We're almost out of Baptist time right now. I used to have this opinion within my own self before I got in church now. Well, I believe God understands, and He don't want you to let nobody run over you. So if you knock them out, God understands that. Or you just took off today. That's a crutch. We use that for a crutch sometimes. Everybody's got a breaking point. And I believe everybody does have a breaking point. I really do. But sometimes we use that for a crutch. And we say, I've had enough now, you better shut up. If we do that, we got to apologize for it. Whether he apologizes or not, we got to apologize. Read the 18th verse of the 18th chapter, I believe it is. If you go to the altar and you remember that your brother has an ought against you, or has trespassed against you, leave your gift on that altar. What is the gift you're leaving? He said, offer your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. If you go to that altar and you say, Lord, I'm giving you me tonight, you use me wherever you want to. Oh, but wait a minute. I'm mad at somebody, or somebody's mad at me. He said, leave that gift there. Go make it right, and then come back. And if he accepts that, the person that's causing the offense, then you've covered them up 7 sins. So Peter said, Lord, 7 times, and Jesus said 7 times 7. In other words, every time they trespass against you, forgive him. If somebody does something you don't like, you've got to forgive him if you want to go to heaven. You've got to forgive him if you want to go to heaven. If he turns around and does it again, you've still got to forgive him. Every time. And that's difficult sometimes. See, there's the bitter and the sweet. The sweet is we come to church and say, woo, yeah, hallelujah. The bitter is, that's right. And then the Spirit speaks to us. You better love that. That's the bigger sometimes, because this flesh don't want us to do that. As long as we walk in the flesh, as long as we walk in the flesh, Satan is getting glory from us. But when we walk in the Spirit, and we do the spiritual things of God, God is getting glory from it. Because you have an accuser that appears before God and makes accusations against you every day. Oh, yeah. She wasn't in church last Sunday. What do you think about that, God? I said, ain't none of your business. That's going to be her. She's sick. Oh, he ain't taking no part in the play. What do you think about that, God? You don't care about that church. He said, you shut up, Satan. That ain't none of your business. See, he'll nitpick at anything that we do. How do you know that you're doing what God wants you to do? Huh?
Everybody hates you.
That's the best next word right there. Good. Anytime you're doing good, evil is always present. And sometimes it comes in the forms that you least expect. It comes in the people that hug you on the neck every day and say they love you. As soon as they leave the church, they can't wait to get on the phone and talk about you like a dog. And that happens. I don't think we got anybody here in Lundale like that. I'm not saying nothing but that. We got some good people here. We really do. And let me say this in closing. We have been talked about. We have been put down as a body. People have tried their best to openly crucify us, put us to an open shame. But we've kept on going. We kept on praising God. We kept on lifting up the bloodstained banner, and God has kept on blessing. Amen. I want those blessings to keep coming, don't you? Amen. And the only way we can keep them coming is to keep that bloodstained banner raised high. Amen. And let the people in the community of Lundale and the surrounding areas know there's some folks down in Lundale that love God and they worship God. They still shout down there. They still sing praise down there. They can get some battles, but they still holding up the flag. I want to go see what it's all about. We got to do that. We got to do that. We got to buy together. Man, I'm just getting started, but I got to quit. We got to buy together, and we got to let this world know we are on fire for God. Because the Holy Ghost is going to set this church on fire. Amen. Oh, come on. I get one more amen out there. Come on, folks. God's going to set us on fire here. We're going to get up, we're going to buy together. We're going to back Satan lie. How about it? You with me? All right. It's going to start with the play. This started with me this morning. I told Stephanie earlier, I felt like they was fire shooting at my fingernails. That Holy Ghost was powerful. You ever stuck your finger in a light socket? Even accidentally? I mean, it don't kill you, and that don't really hurt that bad. But it shocks you. You know, woo! Well, that's the way it is when the Holy Ghost gets on you that good, you know. And I didn't say that bad, I said that good. When it gets on you that good, you're like, woo, man! That's the way I was feeling this morning. I hadn't felt that way in a while. You know why I hadn't felt that way in a while? It wasn't God's fault. It's because I was in my own little pity party. I was in my own little world. I was like Kevin said it earlier. He was worried so much about other people that it was robbing him of his blessings. Worried so much because we don't have a little kids play going on this year. And I'd love to see little kids play. Matter of fact, anybody that's got little kids that wants to put them in the play, you bring them out and play. They'll be up on that stage somewhere. They can take a party. We're not telling any little child that they can't be in that play. You come out, play it out. If you want to get on that stage, you get on it. All right? Huh? I love the Lord. I'm going to hush, like I said. I know. I don't think the new series is Walking Dead on you. I have to come out in there and then Jen likes that show too. One night we was coming to church, she said, "Did you sit Walking Dead in the living room?" I guess people thought I was dead. I love the Lord. And you love the Lord? So,
I think go back to part three.
yeah, back to part 3. Yeah. Now, when the Holy Ghost hits it, I don't care if it's Sunday school prayer meeting or down in front of the courthouse, it's the time to do it.
Amen. Amen.
I've just always been that way my whole life. God put something in me, when I got saved, He put something in me that I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to suppress it. I had time to, but I don't want to. Man, it's exciting. It's exciting. Coming to church is exciting. Coming here and worshiping God with my brothers and sisters. Where y'all gonna get me going again? It's exciting. It is an honor. It is a privilege. Bought by the blood of Jesus. When you come through that door, don't come through with your hands hanging down. Come through with your hands lifted in praise. Try it sometime. Don't say it isn't. Try it. It feels good. And it does. It feels good when you feel the Spirit on you like that. Okay, I'm going to hush. Y'all ready? We're going to be dismissed. Don't forget the dinner, I think, is 2 weeks from, 1 week from this coming Saturday. The play is this coming Saturday. Right? The play is this coming Saturday. So invite your friends, invite your neighbors, bring your children out, bring your brothers, your officers, and let them see the best we can. We're going to demonstrate a little bit of what Jesus went through for all of us. Some of that Christ that we're talking about. I'd never preached on that in my life. And I wasn't afraid to preach it because God never led me that way. But I'm glad He took me that way. All right, all hearts and minds clear? Okay, yes.
I went to church Friday Tuesday, I'll be at the hospital all day. I drink a lot of stuff and have a lot of scans. I'm gonna be over about 6 hours or more.
Tomorrow?
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday? Okay.
Now, I ain't to church, but pray for me.
Amen. We sure. Church, y'all remember that now. I'm sorry to forget when I walk out the door. I forget so much anymore. It worries me sometimes. And I'll never forget about Jesus. All right, let's all stand then. I want to thank everyone that came out tonight. I expected about half of you to stay home. No, I didn't. I know I didn't. I'm just playing out. But let's reference the Lord, and we'll get Brother Rocky over if he would dismiss us in word of prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for another opportunity to come to our house of prayer, Lord. Thank you for the word that's been sent forth. Lord, give it to us so we can take it out to the lost, Lord, and bring them in.
Yes, praise
Thank you,
God.
Lord,